Hey there, how's it going? Lee Hayward here, and in this video I'm going to take you through a lower body workout routine. And this is part of my upper lower body rotational split routine. Now a little while ago I posted the upper body workout 1A, and this is lower body workout 2A. And the way this program works is it's a rotational split. So each time we go through the upper and lower body workouts, we're going to be cycling through different exercises. And the benefit of this is it's going to give you a high training frequency per body part, and it's also going to give you a lot of training variety. So over the course of the next few weeks, I'm going to video all the different workouts in this upper lower body rotational split. So to start things off, I'm doing 10 minutes of cardio. I usually like to do something that moves both the upper and lower body to get a total body warm-up. And then I'll get into some specific joint mobility exercises. Now for this lower body workout, I'm starting off with deep knee bends. And this is a great exercise to really limber up the knees, also limber up the ankles, and just prepare you for the exercises that are to follow. And the first real exercise of the workout is the barbell squat. And I'm a huge fan of squats. I find that it's one of the best leg exercises that you can do. And I always start off with very lightweight. I mean, I start literally with the empty barbell and just do several progressively heavier warm-up sets, building myself up in order to mentally and physically prepare the body for the heavy weights to follow, and it also helps to prevent injury. Now when it comes to warm-up sets, a lot of people wonder how many sets do you need to do? And there's really no right or wrong answer here, but my advice is to do as many progressively heavier warm-up sets as you feel you need. I would rather you err on the side of being over-conservative and doing more warm-up sets rather than trying to rush through it and do as few sets as possible. And generally speaking, the way it works is the more advanced you are with your training, the more warm-up sets you're going to need. And the reason for this is because as a more advanced lifter, you're going to be stronger, you're going to handle heavier weight, and it's going to take more progressively heavier warm-up sets to build yourself up to that top heavy weight. Now if you're afraid that doing a lot of warm-up sets is going to fatigue you and prevent you from handling maximum weight during your working sets, then all you have to do is perform fewer reps for your warm-ups. I mean, even if you just did 5 reps per set, that's still enough to warm up the joints, tendons, and ligaments and prepare your body for the progressively heavier weight. And then when you get to your actual working weight set, what I recommend is shoot for somewhere in the vicinity of 6 to 8 repetitions. If you can perform more than 8 reps, then you might want to increase the weight for your next workout, and if you can't get at least 6 reps, then the weight is too heavy. And next up in the workout, I'm going to do some isolation work for the quadriceps with the leg extension. And the key with this exercise is to use slow and controlled form. A lot of people use momentum when it comes to the leg extension, and they end up using a lot of explosive force in order to drive the weight up. And when you do this, it can place a lot of strain on the knee joint. So what I recommend you do is just slow down your tempo a little bit and really focus on squeezing the weight up rather than just kicking the weight up. Now, I mean, you don't have to go super slow motion, but try and take the momentum out of the lift and have it to be a pure muscular contraction. And as far as the repetitions, shoot for somewhere between 10 to 12 repetitions per set. I mean, if you can't get at least 10 reps with good form, then the weight is too heavy, and if you can do more than 12 reps, then you'll want to increase the weight for your next workout. And moving on, I'm going to do some isolation work for the hamstrings with the leg curl. Now the same principle applies with this exercise as it does with the leg extension. You want to focus on a slow and controlled muscular contraction throughout the hamstrings. When it comes to isolation moves like this, it's easy to let momentum take over because the weights lifted are generally light, and if you use a very explosive style of lifting, you can kind of neglect some of the muscular contraction and just use momentum and explosiveness to get the weight up. So if you want to get the most benefit and the least risk of injury, I would recommend focus on squeezing and contracting your hamstrings with each repetition. And as far as the repetitions, 10 to 12 reps per set is a good guideline to shoot for. And working our way down the leg, going to do some work for our calves with the seated calf raise. Now the calf is made up of two major muscles. You have the gastrocnemius and the soleus. And the soleus muscle is underneath the gastrocnemius, and it can only be fully activated when your knees are bent at a 90-degree angle, such as doing the seated calf raise. So that's why it's important to include both bent leg and straight leg calf work for optimal development. Now in this workout, we're going to be doing the seated calf raise. In our next leg workout, we're going to be doing a straight leg calf raise variation instead. And regardless if you're doing a straight leg calf raise or a bent leg calf raise, the key to building good calves is to really focus on getting a full range of motion. Over-exaggerate the stretch in the bottom by purposely letting your heels hang all the way down and fully stretch out, and then come all the way up on the balls of your feet and really squeeze and contract your calves hard at the top. Now as far as the repetitions are concerned, shoot for a minimum of 10 reps per set. If you want to do higher, that's fine, but make sure that you're getting adequate time under tension with a minimum of 10 repetitions with good form. Now, in addition to training the lower body, I'm going to do a little bit of work for the biceps and triceps. In the previous workout, the upper body, workout 1A, we did chest, shoulders, back, and that was a lot of training for the upper body muscles. So rather than throwing in biceps and triceps along with that, I just want to space it out and include it here with the lower body workout. So right here, I'm just doing some standing bicep curls, just starting off very light and increasing the weight with each set. And I'm working my way up to a top heavy set of around 8 to 10 repetitions. And again, if you can't get at least 8 reps per set, then the weight is too heavy. And if you're getting more than 10 reps per set, then you probably want to increase the weight for your next workout. And you'll notice here in the video that I'm using the easy curl bar, and that's just personal preference. If you want to use a straight barbell, that's fine. I personally find that the easy curl bar is a bit easier on the wrists and the elbows, and I've had some previous bicep injuries in the past, so I prefer to use the easy curl bar just to make my bicep workouts more comfortable. And to work the triceps, going to be doing some cable pushdowns. And the tricep cable pushdown is basically to your triceps what barbell curls are to your biceps. So it's a great overall compound exercise. Now when it comes to the tricep pushdown, you have a lot of different bar attachments. I mean, you can use like an easy curl bar, a straight bar, V-bar, a rope attachment, and who knows, you may have different attachments available at your gym. What I recommend you do is just experiment with them. Try the different attachments and see which ones feel the best for you and use those for your workout. I mean, it's not like one is necessarily better or worse, it's just personal preference. And I like to use the easy bar attachment. That's my personal favorite. But again, you can experiment with the different attachments and use the one that feels the best for you. Now, a nice little side benefit of the tricep pushdown is it also heavily works the abdominals. It works them in a static contraction because you have to flex your abs in order to keep your body in that forward posture in order to perform the tricep pushdown. So in addition to getting some muscle soreness in your triceps, you'll probably also feel a bit of muscle soreness in your abdominals as well. And now we're going to do some direct work for the midsection with the abdominal twist machine. And I like this one because it engages the obliques and all those smaller supporting muscles that come into play to twist and rotate your torso. And this is important for building a strong core. You know, a lot of people just think of working the frontal abdominal wall with crunches and leg raises, but it's important to work all aspects of your core. So the frontal abdominal wall as well as the obliques as well as the lower back. And you want a good strong base all around. And this is not only going to help to prevent injury, but it's going to increase your strength and athletic performance in virtually everything that you do. Now, if you don't have access to a machine like this, you can do a body weight abdominal twist variation. And what I have here is the Russian twist. And this exercise is a really intense movement. You can just use your body weight if you're starting out. I'm actually using a medicine ball for a little bit of extra resistance, but that's totally optional. Now with this one, your frontal abdominal wall is going to be statically contracted the entire time to keep your torso off the ground, and then you're going to be engaging the obliques and all those supporting muscles to twist and rotate your body from side to side. So it's a very intense exercise, and it keeps constant tension on the abdominals throughout the entire movement. And to finish off our workout, we're going to do some stretching for the muscles that we just trained. So what I'm doing right here is a forward bend, and this is a great stretch for the hamstrings, the glutes, and the lower back. And you can do some different variations of this. If you cross your legs over, like I'm doing here on the video, it's going to be a more intense stretch for the hamstring of the leg that's to the rear. And it's also going to stretch out the IT band, which is a ligament that runs down the outer side of your leg. And it's good to keep this flexible and mobile to help prevent knee injuries. And now I'm going to stretch out the quadriceps. And what I have set up here is the foot pad of the decline sit-up bench. And I'm bracing my foot against the pad. Now some people will stretch out their quadriceps by just holding onto their foot, and that's fine as well. But I find if you use the foot pad like I'm doing here on the video, it provides a bit more of an intense stretch throughout the quadriceps, and it makes it a bit easier to hold the stretch. I recommend that you hold each of these stretches for at least 30 seconds and repeat for a couple times. So 2 sets of 30 seconds for each stretch. And to finish things off, I'm going to stretch out the hamstrings. For this, I have my foot propped up on the hyperextension bench, but you can use anything that keeps your foot elevated to approximately waist height. This is a great stretch for stretching out the hamstrings, stretching out the glutes, and it also stretches the calves to a certain degree as well. Now obviously your own individual flexibility is going to determine how far you can bend over, but strive to grab your foot with your hand, and if you can do that, then you'll have pretty good flexibility throughout the hamstrings. So that concludes the lower body workout 2A of the upper lower body rotational split. Now if you want to download the entire program, you can do so over on the Total Fitness Bodybuilding Inner Circle members website. Just head on over to totalfitnessbodybuilding.com and you can download this program as well as all my best training programs and get coaching and feedback with your training along the way. Now, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback related to this, please feel free to post those down in the comment section below. And stay tuned for my next video coming soon. Take care. Over and out.